Welcome to Cravings Control for Fat Loss. I'm your host, Laura Cavallo, former sugar binger, overeater, and yo-yo dieter turned fat loss and cravings coach for hundreds of busy women. Here at Cravings Control for Fat Loss, I'll be sharing mindset, movement, and metabolism strategies for those who are ready to ditch the fat diet cycle and slim down without counting calories, tracking points, or giving up any of the foods they love. Get ready to embrace progress over perfection, grace over guilt, and bring curiosity and learning to the inevitable ups and downs of your life. Expect a decrease in your cravings while seeing and feeling an improvement in how you look, how you feel, and your overall quality of life. I am so excited you're here, boo. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Cravings Control for Fat Loss. My name is Laura Cavallo, your cravings coach, and today's episode is a Reair of episode 44 on how to stay consistent when shit hits the fan. I felt like it was a really important and applicable episode, especially as we're heading into the fall and the winter season where there's going to be more holidays and parties. And I just wanted to provide a little bit of strategy for you and some support and some guidance heading into this busier and often stressful time period around nutrition. And so you're going to likely be faced with more holiday parties and kids events and maybe even some travel. And it's important to have a bit of understanding and guidance on how to stay on track. And so I hope this episode is helpful for you. If it is, shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know what you thought of the episode, anything that helped you, and what your own cornerstone habits are going to be. Also, I have included something free and helpful for you as you head into this busier holiday season. It's actually a guide with 10 ways to stop afternoon cravings and nighttime overeating. In it, I share my proven cravings tips and my 3-phase system for maximum cravings control. And the cool thing about this is that the strategies are really approachable, simple. I don't want to say easy, but with time, they get easier, right? Because anything new is going to require a certain level of learning. But there's strategies that aren't gimmicky or fatty. It's not about taking anything out. It's really about meeting you where you're at in your cravings journey, in your lifestyle, and teaching you small things you can do to reduce the afternoon cravings and the nighttime eating. And so that's completely free to you. Just go down to the resources tab and click the download link. And I hope that you enjoy it. So we all know that it's easy to be good when everything's all good, right? We've all said, oh yeah, next week's going to be a little bit more quiet. I should be able to get my workouts in and meal prep and do XYZ. And we know that when life gets busy and hectic and unpredictable, those are the times that it's hardest to stay consistent, right? So I want to validate the fact that life has gotten so much more complicated, so much more complex, so much more busy and demanding, just so much shit going on all the time. Legitimately. I don't even have kids and my life is hectic and crazy. And I can only imagine from working with my clients who have kids, my clients who are working, my clients who do both, how insane your lives are. And so that's why I need to simplify things for you, because I'm not trying to have you work out 6 days a week, meal prep all of your meals, and sleep 8 to 9 hours and do self-care 3 days a week. That's not happening. So we need to find ways to get you staying consistent when shit hits the fan so you can stay on track even when life gets tough. And we know that that's happening more often than not. Or not just when life gets tough. When life gets busy, it can be good things. It doesn't have to be stressful things. It could be holidays and celebrations and vacations and people coming to visit and all that stuff. It's also important to stay consistent during these time periods because they happen a lot. So this strategy that I want to talk about is called Cornerstone Habits. Cornerstone Habits are the 1, 2, or even 3 things that you can ground into on a day-to-day basis, 1 to 3 habits that you do on a daily basis that when shit hits the fan, you get busy, you're traveling, the kids are sick, you are still doing these things. These are the things that help you feel good, They help you feel on track. They help you feel nourished, energized, and like in a positive headspace. Okay. I'm going to give you some examples. So first of all, these are going to be individual for each person. My cornerstone habits are going to be different than your cornerstone habits, are going to be different than my client's cornerstone habits. Okay. Each one of us has those 2 or 3 things that we need to do on a daily basis that helps us just feel like if I just get these done, I'm still going to feel good today. And so personally for me, my cornerstone habits each day are 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If I don't sleep 7 to 9 hours, I am not a functioning human being. And I know all the working people out there and the moms out there are like, F you, Laura. I wish I could get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And I feel you. I feel you. And this may be one of your cornerstone habits that you work towards. But personally for me, my cornerstone habits are sleep 7 to 9 hours and satisful meals for all of my meals, right? Making sure that I've got satisful for all of my meals. Those are the 2 things. The third thing I would say is some sort of movement. Either it's like a walk, just being outside or exercising. But the third is kind of optional for me. I need satisful plates throughout the whole day. That's going to help me stay consistent with my nutrition, reduce cravings, and the chance that I'm going to overeat at night, and sleep. Okay. I know that I can wake up. I can perform my best for my clients the next day. I know I can perform the best for myself. And I really need that act of self-care for myself. So cornerstone habits are so important because it's easy to get overwhelmed and give up, right? It's easy to get overwhelmed and give up when you're getting ready to go on vacation, or when the kids are sick, or when you have someone visiting you, or you have to take care of a sick parent or a sick child, right? These not only help you stay consistent during the challenging periods, but if you weren't able to stay as consistent with some of the other habits, this gives you a guide to come back to when things maybe haven't gone so well, right? So this is also a guiding light for when you're ready to come back and get back on track. You know that you have your cornerstone habits to fall back on. Now, your cornerstone habits can be individual, and there's something that you discover along your own journey, whether working with me or working on your own towards your health and fitness goals. So just to give you some ideas, cornerstone habits can be making sure you're getting 6 to 8 glasses of water per day, making sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, making sure that you take 1 shower per day so that you have some alone time and you have some time to decompress. Maybe it's your daily vitamins. Maybe it's a big salad per day. Maybe it's 30 minutes of strength training. Maybe it's your morning meditation or your afternoon walk. Or maybe it's time with your family at the dinner table. Cornerstone habits are those habits that you can come back to during any time when you know that you can't do the extra stuff. These are your guiding principles, your guiding values, the way that you stay on track even when shit gets really busy. I would encourage you to just have 1 or 2 really solid habits that you know you can fall back on. I was just talking with a client today who was actually in the Cravings Code program with me, the first one that I ran. And she had a friend come into town. Her kids got sick. Her mom went into the hospital and she got her period, like all within the same week or 2. And before she started working with me in the Cravings Code, she would have automatically given up, because it would have been so easy to just feel completely overwhelmed trying to do everything. And she would have felt like a failure at everything. But instead, when she was able to fall back on cornerstone habits, she felt so much more in control and so much more confident, knowing I just need to focus on these 2 things. If I can do these 2 things today, I know I'm going to be in good shape. And those 2 things for her were satisful plates for breakfast and lunch and water. And making sure she got her water in. And that was it. Yes, of course, she wanted to make sure she was getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Yes, she wanted to get her exercise in. Yes, she wanted a satisful dinner. But she knew even if she couldn't do those other things, she still had those other cornerstone habits that helped her stay grounded and helped guide her during overwhelming, challenging periods. So I want to challenge you to write down right now what your 2 cornerstone habits are going to be. And I want you to try and execute those over the coming 5 to 7 days and see how you do trying to show up for just these 2 habits. Maybe you have a busier week coming up, or maybe it's even quieter, which is a great time for you to practice. So jot down these cornerstone habits. I would love if you shared them with me. So head over and find me on Instagram at __cravings_coach. Let me know you listened to this episode and share your cornerstone habits with me so that I can support you and cheer you on as you go. Thanks so much for listening. Can't wait to hear from you. Talk to you soon.